My name is Anna Radlinger, and I am doing a photography project on Ansel Adams, an American photographer that was born in 1902 and passed away in 1984. An art critic named Abigail Forrester wrote in the Chicago Tribune in 1992 where she compared Ansel Adams to the importance of his work to that of Homer's epics for Odysseys. Ansel Adams taught himself to play the piano and read music at the age of 12. One Christmas, his parents gave him a Kodak No. 1 box brownie. Each year, his parents and him would take trips to Yosemite and visit. While there, he was transformed and wanted to become a photographer that would take photographs such as Yosemite National Park and places that are like that, where it would lead him to go and document and share the beauty that he saw through that camera. In 1927, it was a monumental year for him because he had made the very first fully visualized photograph of monolith, the face of the half dome. That same year, he met Albert Bender, who gave him the opportunity to put into motion and publish Adams' very first portfolio. In this slide, Ansel Adams shows you monolith with the moon just above. There's shadow and there is light. In this slide, Ansel Adams shows monolith from a distance with a very large thundercloud that sits up above it. Ansel Adams wanted to gain more work by being able to do commercial photography for random places in San Francisco. In this photograph, he is showing factories that he would photograph. He also would photograph other places such as Boudin's French Bread with this look of a retro look for that time period. He would also include other places such as AT&T and IBM. In this slide, Ansel Adams shows you a very beautiful look of mountains in Colorado with the snow and the reflection in the water from the lake. This photograph, he is showing you the trees that he is looking out at from a hotel that he is at with icicles that are hanging off of the beam. This slide shows you a very large thundercloud that is sitting up above mountains that are looking over and blocking the sun. But while blocking the sun, it is also giving the sun a rays and shooting out from the sides of the cloud. This photograph he took is of Point Sur, a storm that is in Monterey, right on the coast, and you are able to see the coldness that is in the photograph. This photograph he took in Arizona of a canyon area that you were able to see the patterns and the detail and the area itself that is close to the clouds and also gives a look of interesting feel of the area. In this photograph that he took is of Bridal Veil Falls. Bridal Veil Falls, it looks like a bride's veil. It is light, airy, and has a very whimsical look to it. This photograph he took of a creek in California. The water he is able to grasp with such a light white look to it that it looks almost ghostly looking. In this slide, Ansel Adams is photographing aspen trees that are in northern New Mexico. There are two smaller trees that are planted in front of very large aspen trees. This photograph that Ansel Adams took is of a sunrise that is coming over the area in the San Joaquin River Valley. This photograph, he is able to show you the lightness from the sunrise. You can see the light hitting the carved areas of the mountain, and you are also able to see the shadows and the darkness where the sun is not hitting. This is one of my favorite photographs that he took, is of in a cemetery in Silver Cliff, Colorado. This photograph, the way he is angled and where he is positioned, makes the cross look higher than the mountains that are in the background. The cross almost looks like it's about ready to touch the moon. The mountains in the background are covered in snow, and the whole area is covered in snow, but the cross stands out. Excuse me. This is one of Ansel Adams' most famous photographs of the moonrise in Hernandez, New Mexico. This photograph is beautiful because the way the clouds look brushed. They have a wispy look. You can see this. You can see the snow on the mountains. You can see the small village with a small cemetery that is right off to the side of the photograph. And you are also able to see the moon. You can see the man in the moon. You can see his face very clearly. It is a beautiful photograph. The significance of him is that he self-taught himself to become a photographer. He self-taught himself with his camera. He was a conservationist who cared so much for all the areas that he was able to photograph. He was very eminent about keeping Yosemite National Park what it is, a place where you can come, visit, take pictures, and enjoy the area. He helped with Weston to create F-64 to be able to photograph, to have a group of people that photographed like he did. He was a commercial photographer who helped other businesses to be able to get their name out. He was a lecturer and a writer. He developed all his own work, all of his own equipment and his supplies. He was very in tune with his equipment. Taking photographs became instinctive. He knew where he wanted to be. He took the time. He was patient. And his huge impact was bringing out the beauty of the wilderness through that black and white photography that he is so known for. I appreciated being able to learn more about him.